My name is Dia Ambarwati. I've been working since 1991. That is why you see I have around 31 years working in education, hospitality, marketing communications, and currently I'm working in life insurance. And aside from being the head of human resources in my current company, I'm also assigned to be a commissioner in the subsidiary group that is under our organization. And the organization that I'm being assigned as commissioner is basically the future Sharia business. If you all understand about Sharia business, it's basically an Islamic economy. And if we want to conduct that Sharia business, all the organizational system, tools, people, entity have to be separate from the conventional business. So it is also including how the investment is managed. So I'm also an agile practitioner. In my organization, I'm a Scrum Master. I've been doing some projects, and one of the biggest is the transformation of culture. And I was not only working with HR team, but also people from different disciplines. And that's the beauty of Scrum. If you understand, Scrum is one of the agile methodology that is very common in nowadays, practice, and it enables a faster, delivery of projects, and it is shorter in terms of meetings. It is more dynamics. And it is much more collaborative. And you could see as well that I have two kind of backgrounds in education. One is international communications and business development, and the other one is in human resources. So I believe Huang and Michael, you are also majoring in HR in your current job? Yes. Okay, great. And for the last 4 years, I've been doing mentorship for young Asian leaders. And it is not limited to HR, but also people from different industry. Like last year, I was mentoring a product manager who worked in a startup company. And it was in payroll. So he was fully an IT person. And we managed to engage in this ASEAN forum. And I'm glad that my knowledge on Scrum can be a part of the, the development journey of that person. And I'm still also lecturing. I'm currently the tutor of behavioral studies in my alma mater in London School of Public Relations. I'm also a mother of 3 teenagers, 19 years old, 18 years old, and 16 years old. So it's very cumbersome. And I'm also a passionate baker. I love baking. I love making bread and cake. And I'm starting to study cuisines as well. So who knows, when I'm retired, I can switch job, I can be a chef because that's my burning passion right now. Okay, so enough about myself. I would like to hear a little bit from both of you, Huang and Michael. Please share me your experience.
Huang, you want to go first? Ladies first.
Okay.
You can call me Huang. Huang is my last name, but usually Usually people call me Qiao Ru, or you can just call me Q. Okay. I'm based in Singapore, and I'm actually currently handling rewards in a conglomerate. And ever since has been rewards for more than about 11, 12 years plus. But I have been business partners before, but still quite passionate in rewards. That's why I'm still in this field. Yeah.
Okay, you're in total rewards now.
Yeah.
May I know what your industry is?
My current industry is actually an investment holding company with diversified business. Yeah.
It's usually quite difficult for me to hijack people from investment. Their compensation is usually very, very, very competitive. And they have, different framework of pay. I don't know how it works, but it's usually like an equivalent of 14 at the minimum or 15 times a year kind of monthly salary. How is it like in Singapore?
I think so far we are still doing okay in the market in itself, but as the usual, like I think our COVID situation has stabilized, but for like the economy wise, actually quite some speculations, because we are seeing quite a number of like restructurings going on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think people are still like quite having some kind of anticipation and everything.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Michael?
Oh yes.
Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, a little bit about myself. I'm a HRBP working for a R&D electronics company called Motorola Solutions. I think you guys know they are doing the walkie-talkie. So we kind of support all these mission critical people like firemen, police, and all that, right? So a little bit about myself also. I've been in HR for the past 15 years right now. And so all the while in HR, so that's all about me. And I'm a HRBP business partner. Previously, I was in talent acquisition, almost about 10 years in talent acquisition.
Okay. So how big is your organization, Michael?
It's a global organization. Around the world, we have about 9,000 people. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, and we have 9,000 people. And in Penang, we have about 2,000 people. I'm based out of Penang.
Oh, so you're based in Penang?
Yes.
So I used to have I used to have a family there, but now they relocate in KL.
I see.
In Bukit Jelutong. Yeah. My sister-in-law is actually Malaysian.
I see. Okay.
So it's like a second home. Going to Malaysia.
Okay. Do you come often?
I'm from Indonesia. I forgot to tell you guys. I'm from Indonesia. I live in Jakarta. Jakarta is the capital city of Indonesia. And prior to pandemic, Singapore, Malaysia is like very common destinations for us for a short escape or visiting families, because we have families living in both countries. So we should reconnect when I'm there.
Sure, most welcome. I can take you around to all the nasi kandar in.
Oh yeah, actually the best I tried. I haven't tried nasi kandar in Penang, but I tried the one in KL. I think it's in Bukit Bintang. In Bukit Bintang. But that was the first time I ate nasi kandar, and I had to get used to with the spices and stuff, right? I think I got a little bit stomach upset.
Okay.
But it was delicious.
I see.
Yeah. So since this is a bonus class anyway, right? So it's like a wrap up, and usually in a much bigger group. I think this is the smallest group that I've ever met so far with Asia HRM.
Okay.
I actually would like to put all what you have discussed and learned together with the prior,
Instructors.
part. Kok lupa sih jadi mau ngomong apa with the prior teachers, right, or presenters. That basically HRBP was introduced by someone called this
Gentlemen.
This gentleman, if you can guess.
Dave Ulrich.
Ulrich, yes. So, right. So these are the many classes that I have been joining with Asia HRM. So I think it's usually like 2 hours class, but and usually I broke them into several groups discussion, but it's going to be quite straightforward conversation, I guess. Let's make it less formal. And basically, David Ulrich introduced to us these 4 quadrant, right? And for someone who has been 17 years in the role, Michael, you know this probably so well, and also Kiaru, even though you are a passionate person in total rewards, but you also encountered some HRBP responsibilities possibly, right? Yes. So Dave Ulrich in the early 90s introduced this to us. So it's quite long, but many organizations still find this system relevant to us. Even my organization currently still adopts HRBP, and I'm still doing the HRBP roles, even though I'm the country head of HR for the organization. My organization is only a medium size. We have only 600 employees, and we manned the employees with only 7 people in HR. So we divide the HRBP functions into some people. Basically, I have 4 HRBP, including myself. But aside from the HRBP role, they also play the center of excellence role, the COE. Just like Kwaru, you are basically a COE, right, Kwaru? Do I say your name correctly?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So we have this dynamic and multiple function. That's because we find it efficient for the need of our current organization, and it is also efficient. At the same time, I have a chance to enhance the total rewards to be slightly in premium because we have different functions to play. And then we also embed some multi-skilling and instill the new capabilities with one personnel. Because when I shared with you that I'm also doing agile projects and leading agile projects through Scrum, I realized that it's only at the brink of time. It's only like a heartbeat away that we are going to have very, very agile organization, and that we will collaborate with people from different functions to work on HR project, or HR working on sales project or operations project or even IT projects, right? So it depends on how HR play a role in each project, right? So that's how the world of HR today, right? May I know, in your organization, Kwaru, how do you adopt the system? Do you use HRBP system, or do you use only Center of Excellence or what kind of model do you apply in your organization?
Mixture. So we do have HRBPs. We also have Center of Excellence. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And how large is your organization?
We have about 10,000 account.
Wow, that's very big. Is it also a global organization, just like Michael's?
I would say maybe predominantly the countries are falling into Asia. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's across the different countries in Asia. Yeah.
Okay. In what business is it?
Different businesses. So there is also the so-called the investment side. There is also the so-called a little bit niche. It's called the lifestyle, which is the well-being piece. And then we also have like the industrials or the shipping related ones.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite diverse. Yeah.
Oh, it's a diverse business, right? Okay. Okay. Do you find one business from another apply the same HR modeling, or certain organization under your certain business under your big umbrella requires different setup of HR?
Actually, for now, if the business is actually of a substantial size, right, the model is quite similar, so it's a mixture. But if it's like just a very small startup kind of business, and then the roles kind of it will usually collapse. So we will have usually the COE won't be present, so it will collapse into like one main person or a few like handling the overall HR part if the business unit is really very small.
All right. So are you sitting in one of the businesses, or are you sitting in the corporate?
I'm actually sitting at the corporate.
At the corporate, wow. So I can imagine how busy you are. Okay, so are you the head of the total rewards in this case?
Yeah, I am.
Wow. Okay. And how big is your organization?
Not very big. Because actually,
I mean the total reward.
Not very big. Not very big. Basically, we only have about like 3 people.
Okay.
But it's because in the countries, the reward does not report to the COE function. The rewards report to the head of HR for the country.
Oh, for the country. So you don't apply metrics, right? So you don't oversee other.
Yeah.
You don't oversee other total rewards partner in other country.
No.
Okay. So basically, you just handle the corporate organization. Okay, that's nice. That's nice to know. Yeah. So regardless, despite you are the COE or HRBP, I'm so sure that these 4 strategic focuses are a part of your job, right? Especially when they see you as a total reward, for example, they really want to see whether we are at the stage or in the right percentile of compensation, or at the right comparatio against the market, right? Therefore, they would see you as an employee champion. Yeah, and making sure that we are competitive enough, and whether the pay is future ready as well for the upcoming, the upcoming development within the industry and overall in the country economics as well. Right. So probably the frequent activities like market comparison must be in your agenda, right? I think it's better if I call you Huang, because your first name is quite challenging to say, if you don't mind. Yeah, so I'm sure the market comparison is also a part of your activities, right? Okay, Okay, and in these four focuses, either Michael or Huang, which of the focus that you play a lot in your daily roles in as a HRBP or as a total reward? What are the dominant part of these four strategic focuses?
Maybe I can go first, or you want?
Michael, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So, basically, very honestly, because our team is also pretty small in terms
Mhm,
of HRBP, although we have about 1,000 people, I mean 2,000 people, right? We only three HRBPs
mm,
that's supporting. So each of us take care of 500 people or slightly over 500 people. Okay,
crazy.
so yeah, so having said that, and we don't have a full-fledged, like COE like yours,
Mhm,
or Ryan just now, Charu just now. So basically, I'm also the expert for the employee relations and grievances management, which comes
mhm,
under the disciplinary and all that, lah. Huh?
mhm,
Okay, so I play a lot of nowadays. I feel I play a lot of the administrative expert and
mhm,
also employee champion. But like everybody else, to go to the next level, I think we need to be very strategic. So there are
mhm.
things that I try to step up and to become a change agent and things like that. But it's predominantly still the bottom two. I really need to move up the ladder to the first two quadrants there.
Yeah, no worries. No
Yes.
worries. It's about the opportunity and again the intended or how the organization see the future structure, right? When it comes, I'm sure you will be the good contender to be a part of the strategic, management team or so. Okay. Um, anything else that you would like to add, Michael?
No, that's all from me for now. So along the way, right? So I mean, just wanted to ask you. You said you also don't have a full-fledged COE. So how is it like to do the both part, strategic part and also the technical part?
Okay. Actually, I was about to ask you a question since you are coming from an IT organization, if I'm not mistaken, or technology, right?
It's actually a
Because
technology company.
technology company. What is the digital use or technology use in your organization? Is it quite high?
Because it's actually a 40, 100, I mean, almost 70 years or 100 years kind of company. And
Mm,
everybody that I see, all the top management have been there for at least 30 over years,
mm-hmm,
and never changed to any other company. So in terms
mm-hmm,
of adaptation and transformation to IT, it is still they do buy like Workday and things like that. But
mm,
in terms of digital transformation, I wouldn't say that's better. They are
okay.
any better. I think they're still not primitive, but somewhere slightly above primitive. They do a buy, but they do not buy the full version. They just buy for the sake of having okay. So they buy the minimum package. So just for instance, right, I'm not complaining, I'm just sharing with you because I come from another organization called Micron.
Mm-hmm,
Where Charo might know Micron is actually a very big company. And
mm-hmm,
when it comes to technology and people development, they were like at the forefront of everything. And
mm,
they are the second biggest employer in Singapore with 9,000 staff and things like that, and they are from US. So when I compare Micron with Motorola, I think Motorola has to back up a bit in terms of technological adaptation when it comes to HR. But any other things, yes, they go at the forefront of it, by having AI and wave technology
mm,
and all that. But investment in terms of HR, I think it's very, very minimal. I think it's not
okay.
healthy as well because people are asked to use a lot of Google Forms, which I think, again, right, when it comes using Google Forms and all that
The
instead of,
security, right? The
yeah,
the risk assessment needs to be
yes,
in
yeah,
place. Yeah,
yeah. They
because
claim it to be top notch, but I'm not so sure, to be very honest.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting as well.
Yeah, because when it comes back to your question, how can I become the strategic partner or change agent? Well, by nature, since I'm a part of the planning committee, how you say that, right? I need to give a strategic insights and proposal to the organization so it can enable all the business plans as well that we have, right? And the change agent is something to do with how we differentiate ourselves in the industry compared to others. So change agent here can be falling onto the talent acquisition way, the total rewards and the learning development. Just want to give you an example. My organization is a change agent in terms of providing development for actuarial skills and roles. And we also incorporate a very, robust and progressive development for actuarial. So if an actuary is deemed competent, they need to pass some exams, be it is local or it is overseas training, right? Since we are a Canadian company, most of our actuary comes from, either Indonesia certification or comes from North America, right? And every milestones of exams are being rewarded. That is why the brand is quite popular amongst the industry, and that they prefer to work with us because every additional reward is translated into their basic salary. So everything that is related to the salary calculations, be it is overtime, be it is bonus, and then, for example, the pension calculation is rooted on the compensation. Even though we are medium-sized organization, our positioning in terms of total rewards is very competitive, and we put ourselves in P50. But for the actuary, we have a different salary structure. So that's how we position ourselves as a change agent, because actuary is very rare, very hot skill, and that we need to do something to be different. So that's the sample of it. Strategic partner is to ensure that everything we do is evolve around the focus of the organization, right? And if, for example, the strategy is to put our organization to be ranked the top 5 insurance company in Indonesia, so all the effort has to evolve around that, right? And how I am perceived in the industry as a thought leader, as a best practice implementer in HR, how we contribute in business, how we enlarge our market share. It's all about being the strategic partner, right? And how HR in this case can also give the advice in terms of the talent capabilities that we want to hire is also important. So that's how we arrange that. So other than making a differentiation, the second one is with maximizing the digital assets that we have. Yeah, the digital assets means all the softwares, the hardwares that we have, and all the things that we can make the experience felt directly by the employees, right? I just want to pick an example of leveraging our learning platform called My Learning Navigator. If we only accept what it is from the global, My Learning Navigator can only be a place where we see modules, when we see videos and stuff. But Indonesia, leverage that into a more interactive way. We put all the engagement activities in My Learning Navigator. We created a competition where employees who learn most can be leading the leaderboard, and that it is announced and that it is rewarded, and that it will relate so much on the current generations, So that's how we leverage our technology assets in this case. And the third one is also the use of an external party that can take over our job. Michael, you mentioned a lot about being the administrative expert. Don't be shy if you still handle a lot of some administrative works, and probably this is also about time to look at how much it will cost if a Michael or a Huang does, or a Dia does this compared to the third party, right? And that's what we leverage as well. So by empowering that to the third party, we focus on being strategic partner, being the employee champion and change agent. Administrative expert, because we have also Workday, Michael, in this case. Our involvement in being administrative expert is to guide, to give advice rather than doing it. Because in Workday system, for example, there are a lot of tools that can be empowered to the people manager, to the employees, that they can do themselves. So that free us from, the day-to-day administration activities that takes up so much time, and moving us away from what we aspire as a more strategic partner in HR, So that's a little bit of share from my organization. Now I would like to introduce you to this. These are the HRBP key responsibilities, right? There are so many, or there may be many more you find in your organization or in other organization, but this is how much I can, compile. And I would like to discuss this together with you, how much of this actually reflects your day-to-day responsibility in your role within your organization. So let's have a look for a while. Usually I divide this into group discussions, right? I usually have 2 groups discussions, but since we only have us, the 3 of us, maybe just get it free flow. And the good thing is we can finish the class earlier, right? So how much of this is resonant to you, that is reflective to what you do currently? So Huang, if you don't mind sharing, which of this that are very close to what you're doing now?
Actually, because I'm currently handling some projects that is not say rewards focused, okay. So because of the projects that I'm handling, some of it actually falls into like, more the strategic partner and the business partnering side, because I'm currently trying to roll out this OKRs throughout the organization. So basically the organization is going through some kind of transformation and everything. We just revise the mission statements and things like that. And also, so actually I can relate to like, at the top few lines, like when we talk about like, the org design. Recently, we also relook at our org structure, the way that we name organization systems in itself. So not only like, hierarchical, but rather also looking at like, on like, other organizations like the gig workers, the different networks in the market, the community. So we also regard like vendors and partners as part of the organization. And at the same time, we wanted like, all our employees to also embrace like, the portion about like, community change agents and like, culture building together. So there is such a systems that we built into our org design as well. And also there is also the project management piece, where we try to involve like, people in different projects for their development and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is very interesting to know. So you're basically at the beginning of designing the organization.
We are redesigning. I can only say redesigning.
Yeah. So probably responsibility like builds organization design and people capability is very close to you right now, right? And that probably, since you mentioned something about transformation, and you also mentioned about some mission statements, right? So probably ensure vision statements is also close to you.
We just review our so-called management competencies, things like that also. Yeah.
Yeah. And where I think I see some competencies here, where I think even this one is also close to you, right? Engage in,
So we also reviewed recently because I'm a reward, so reviewed the total rewards philosophies, the principles, and also the strategies. Yeah.
May I know what the philosophy is?
Our company philosophy?
Yeah, in total rewards in particular.
Maybe I can talk a little bit about my company mission first.
Sure.
So my company mission, right, is actually to serve the well-being of life and create wealth at the same time. So it has that perspective of like, serving the well-being of like, not only human beings, but also tapping on like, all lives on the cosmos and everything. So it's part of our business strategies and everything. So with that in mind, right, so actually our total reward strategy or like the philosophy, right, is we wanted to build a community where we invite everyone to actually co-create a well-being economy. It's more on a macro so-called like, stance, rather than just at a company level, so to speak. We wanted to build that economy.
Well, some organization put pay for performance as a philosophy, right? Hence, they implement a really performance-based metrics and framework to build their strong total rewards, right? I think it has been in many organizations currently. So are you also adopting that?
Performance to us, right, is just a portion of it. So because of where we are heading, performance means quite different to us. So we rather look at value adding. The way we define value is quite different. We are not looking out for just the financial side, less the transactional piece, but rather like, the contributions and like, the impact on the different areas. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I totally agree with you. When it comes to monetized rewards or compensation, a certain market can be very saturated, can be very bored, and that we need to think out of the box. What kind of engagement factor in total rewards that can make the employee can be with us for quite a long time, especially for the hot talents or the highly potential and highly perform employees, right? Like in our organization, we also diversify the total rewards for the high potential and high performer. We have 3 layers of, we call it L1, is the highly potential and highly perform employees that is ready to be taking over new responsibility like immediately, you know. And there are also potential employee that is ready in 2 years or in 5 years, you know. We also have some individual contributor and then business solutions delivery category that is also have fall under certain total rewards categorization. So so there is something to do, I guess, with uses the business insights to drive changes in people management practices. So yeah, so by hearing your stories, even though the exact, you know, statements or terminology may not be the same, it's kind of reflective, right? It's kind of resonant to what you are doing. Again, despite the fact that you are also a COE, not a HRBP. But I guess in this case, the focus is that when you're so needed to understand the business, you're so needed to see how the organization is moving forward. Hence, the skills are needed to support your job or to support yourself.